Okay, gang, this is just a quick Mustang update. I know I threw a teaser out to you guys and showed you a picture of a red Mustang. Well, day before yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yesterday, I guess it was. We drove Mike Canizero, my buddy, and Ryan, my grandson, and I drove over to Tucson to pick up the car. I had a cashier's check ready to go for the total amount. Got over there 15 minutes before the guy opened in the morning. Looked over the car. The car was perfect, flawless. Engine was beautiful. The paint was beautiful. The interior was good. A little bit dirty, but cleanable. Car looked perfect. Tires good. Wheels good. Everything good. Looked underneath it. No rust. No nothing. Car looked really good. That's why I drove over there to get it. Then we asked the gentleman if we could test drive it. And Ryan and I got in it, drove down a street there, and there was a very bad clunking noise when you'd hit potholes and stuff in the front end. Got back, turned around, drove it back to the dealership there, which is a little podunk thing, and told the guy says, "Oh, really?" Well, his wife had driven it in the morning. We watched her drive in it. She had come from the car wash. Car was still all wet, and there was dust running off in the water, and it was not a good cleaning job. But she had taken it to the car wash, and wife, whatever, I don't know, employee, whatever she was. So she had driven it in and parked it there, and she parked it next to the building. That's where we looked at the car. Everything looked good. Oh, looked in the trunk, looked underneath, looked at the engine, looked all over the car. Beautiful. Then we took it. We had the noise in the front end. Brought it back, parked it there, told the guy. The guy got in it, drove it down the street, came back, and wanted to have his guys look at it. Well, neither one of them spoke English. He asked us if we spoke Spanish to talk to his employees. I said no. Anyways, to get to the crux of it is, we spent about 2 hours there. We went and ate lunch for part of it, but we spent about 2 hours there waiting for him to decide if he could figure out what was wrong with it and fix it. And it had all new front end parts underneath the front of it. All new A-arms and all new struts, all new sway bar connectors, all new. Everything under there was new. So I know they knew it had a noise. And to try and fix it, instead of trying to diagnose it, they just replaced all the parts under there. There was no accident or nothing like that. It was just all new parts, but it still had this clunking. So anyway, we waited around for a while, and finally he said go eat lunch. We went and ate lunch, and we came back, and he had taken it down to a repair place that was down the street. And we could see the car sitting outside the repair place down there. And all of a sudden his employee, girl, woman, whatever she was, came from the lot and was walking into the office right in front of us. And my buddy Mike said to her, he said, "Hey," he says, "did you hear that noise in the front of that car that you drove in here this morning?" And she said, "I don't remember what car I drove in this morning," which was the first lie. Then he said, "It was the red Mustang, the one you took to the car wash." She says, Oh yeah. Well, she couldn't deny that because we knew she took it to the car wash. She knew what car she drove. So then he asked her. He says, "Well, did you hear the clunking noise when you were coming down here?" "I didn't hear any noise." Lie number 2. Okay. Then when he confronted her, he says, "I can't believe you couldn't hear it. We could hear it from outside the car when the gentleman drove it back into the parking lot after he drove it. We could hear it from outside the car." She said, "Well, it did make a tiny bit of noise, but it wasn't that bad." Lie number 3. 3 strikes. You're out. I don't like to be lied to, and had a real time trying to deal with the fact that this guy knew we were going to be driving a 600-mile round trip to get that car, and he didn't drive it and make sure everything was ready to go. And I know they knew that it had that noise in the front of the car, and he didn't tell me about it. So I had given him my check. He had put it on his desk. He had a two-level desk. One that was, when you were standing up, was this level, and then a little thing behind, and he had put the check down there. So he was down at the car place. We could see that the car wasn't in the shop. She had just got done lying to us 3 times. We know he knew that the car had a noise in it. That's why they replaced all the front end parts. My feeling is they put the wrong struts on it, and the struts were the wrong length for the car, and I think they were bottoming out when they were bottoming on their downstroke when you hit a pothole. Because if you were on flat pavement, the car drove beautiful. No pulling, no nothing. I mean, it drove beautiful. But the minute you hit a pothole, clunk, 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 clunk. Anyways, to get to the point, after we had been lied to 3 times by the woman, and we knew for a fact the guy knew the front end of the car had a noise in it and didn't tell me that before I drove all the way over there to pick up the car and didn't have it fixed. He was down there. I don't know where she went. She was not in the office. I went in there, grabbed my check off the desk, put it in the truck, and we drove back to Cruces. So the red car is a no-go. Now to brief you on where I am now. When I got back here, I had been looking at a Grabber Blue 2010 Mustang in Ruidoso, New Mexico. She ghosted me for about 2 weeks. I had asked her questions. I love the car. I'd like to buy the car possibly. She was going to meet me in Alamogordo. We were going to look at the car. I was going to take money with me in case I was ready to buy it and all that stuff. But I could never get her to answer me. She was ghosting me. I got back and we were talking to each other on the way back and saying, God, wouldn't it be an omen if I got back and she called me or got a hold of me through Facebook, about the car in Ruidoso? We got back. I'll be god dang if the next day I didn't get some messages from her through Facebook. Turns out her boy supposedly was sick. She has a son who's, I don't know how old he is, maybe 7 or 8, on her profile page. But anyway, he had some medical problems, and I don't know, I don't know. But if people have problems, I can understand them not answering their calls, not that kind of stuff. So I accepted that, and I told her, okay. I said, and then she volunteered to send me the pictures that I had asked for earlier, like inside the trunk, another picture of the interior. She had the original wheels. It had some aftermarket wheels on it and stuff. So anyway, she sends me these pictures. I sent the pictures she sent me to Canizero, and he and I got to looking at the pictures and realized, wait a minute, the picture she has of the car on the ad looks way newer than the pictures that she sent us, close-ups of the bumper, which had a lot of fading on the front, 2 sides of the front bumper, and the back bumper was so faded along the top edge that the paint was completely gone on it. Well, that wasn't in the pictures online, okay? Then she sent me a picture of the driver's seat, which had a big old scratch in the middle of it. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me, okay? I can fix that stuff. I can get dye and I can paint and cover the scratches on the seat. It wasn't torn, it just was scratched, and the black color was missing from the seat. I can fix all that stuff, and I expect those kind of things when you're buying a car with over 100,000 miles on it. But what made us suspicious was that the pictures online and the pictures she sent may have been the same car, but were taken at vastly different times. So we're wondering where she's coming from. In the meantime, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a 2012 GT in Cruces here with the 5-liter V8 6-speed manual transmission in Kona blue, which is a dark metallic blue. A lot of miles on it, 137. Doesn't bother me because I'm just going to drive it around town. And I have been in contact with that guy. And the pictures were taken at the university here of that car. And when I sent him a message, he answered my message just like that. He was in Odessa, Texas, and gone from college here for spring break. Now, I don't know how old this guy is, but I found out when I came back, and I was he said he would be back tomorrow, which was Friday after last Friday when I contacted him last. He said, I'll be back next Friday, which is tomorrow. And he said, at that time, you can come and look at the car. I'll give you a call. You can come look at the car. The guy's just been constantly, keeping in contact with me, which is way different than all these other people. So the deal is, he's going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to go look at that car. It's $3,000 cheaper than the car in Ruidoso. It's 2 years newer. Yes, it has 30,000 more miles than the car up there, but the car's in equally good shape. It does have its flaws. Any car that you would buy like that is going to have some kind of flaw. I understand that. But like I say, it's $3,000 cheaper than the car up there. I have enough money besides the $3,000 to probably fix anything that's going on that car if the car runs and drives properly. And I can look at it right here in town. I'll be going there tomorrow. I'll let you know how that guy goes. But that's kind of an update on where the whole Mustang thing is. I guess a fallback plan would be to still talk to the lady in Ruidoso. However, I don't have any high, and she's asking too much money for the car. I'd have to talk her down at least a couple $1,000s. She's way over on the car. So I like the car. The car may be okay. It may have no more flaws in it than the dark blue one I'm going to look at. But her dishonesty in the pictures and the ghosting in communication was a little bit concerning to me. I don't know how I don't know how that's going to shake out, but I will know how tomorrow looking at the car is going to shake out. I have the cash. I'm taking it with me tomorrow. If I like the blue car, I'll talk to the guy, see what we can come to, and buy the dark blue car. That's where we stand. I'm not going to show you any pictures of it unless I get one, because I can see how this has turned out. But we drove 680 miles for nothing. So, about 600 miles for nothing. But we all had a good time. We all talked to each other. It was a good trip. No, nothing wrong, whatever. It was 11 hours wasted. But anyway, that's the scoop on the red Mustang. The red Mustang is not going to be. It may be a dark blue Mustang. It may be a grabber blue Mustang, which is a light blue Mustang. I don't know, but when I do know, you guys will be the first to know. But I'm just giving you a little update. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.